Welcome to Week in Geek, your new comics preview for February 29th. I'm Mike Ortiz.
And I'm the Chris Brown.
What do you got?
Well, first I'd like to say, as we got a leap day here, I'd like to wish a happy 9th birthday to my friend Bob Mabbott. I would also like to say that this Friday from around 3:30 to about 7, we're going to have Joe Quirio here signing those Dark Horse Presents from last week.
Nice.
Got a hold of Joe. He had a bunch of things going on, but he's going to come in on Friday afternoon for a few hours and sign that Dark Horse Presents where he had the Lobster Johnson story in there.
Come get your autograph now before he's a big star and charges you.
Dude, that art looks great in there. It was really, really good stuff. So, all right, I'm going to start off here with Green Wake number 10. I'm sad to see Green Wake come to an end.
Oh, that's it?
This is it. This is the ending. Apparently, it wasn't selling well enough, so they wrapped it up. And, Curtis has Peter Panzerfaust, and they just announced a new thing coming up with Curtis and Riley. Big news coming out of that Image Expo. A lot of cool stuff for Riley. I really like this book. I think it was nice. Oh, Debris. That's the big book they were announcing there. That's the other Curtis Riley book. So they always something to replace it. But I thought this book was really, really fun. It felt a little abrupt. I mean, clearly, all right, guys, you're going to, you only got this many issues, wrap it up. And so between last issue and, sad to see with Krieger but everyone gets a conclusion. They wrap up the story. I would have liked to have seen it build and develop with more time. But everyone gets a conclusion. The artwork in this, I dare say, is some of Riley's best stuff. Absolutely just incredible, wonderful stuff in this issue. Pick up Green Wake number 10. Really, really awesome stuff. And also, I think we had mentioned maybe in a previous episode here, but coming up, Rebel Blood number 1, we're going to be giving away free sketches by Riley, so we'll pop some of these up here.
Yeah.
I think we got a graphic here. You can see some of these.
Great stuff.
To there. Really, really cool stuff. He's been using those also as promo pieces for the book. Okay. And because I'd seen a lot of that art before on Facebook, and then when I got the sketch, I'm like, I've seen these before. And went back, and he's got really nice colored versions online that you can see, and you can own the original black and white sketches.
These are all original artwork, one of a kind.
One of a kind. You buy a copy of Rebel Blood, you're immediately entered, you'll get a raffle ticket. And then also what we'll do is any other thing that you buy by Riley, you'll also get a raffle ticket. He's been doing Dakin for
Green Wake, Proof, Cowboy Ninja Viking.
Yep.
A lot of stuff.
So any of that stuff, and you're good to go. All right, next up, I've got the Shade number 5, Vampires on the High Seas. A lot of crossovers in this stuff, so I imagine it's going to have an iVampire cross in somewhere. Is that what I'm guessing? Because it kind of looks like the iVampire font. This has been a really, really fun book. I think James Robinson's stuff on the characters that he loves just absolutely knocks it out of the park. And you can tell this is one that's very near and dear to him.
And I've heard this described as kind of a tour through the new 52 DC universe.
Pretty much.
That basically this is showing you a lot of stuff that maybe the other books aren't getting to.
In the first issue, he's killed by Deathstroke, so they introduce that, the violent side, then they get him, going through with some of the other characters. It's cool stuff. Then we've got the Avengers. This has been a solid book all the way through. I really, really enjoy the Avengers. I think I am an issue or two behind on this one. Looks like we got some big crazy Hulks.
Avengers versus X-Men coming soon.
Yes. Yeah, and they're also firing you up for the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Big banner on the front.
We got a lot of Avengers coming, people. Just get used to it.
Speaking of which, the new Avengers. 2 months until A versus X. Look at that. April 4th, I believe, is the date for that. We will be doing the Comics and More will be doing the launch party the Tuesday night before.
Avengers or X-Men?
I'm an Avengers store.
All right.
Yep. Now, the funny thing is, I can get both stuff, though. I can only order so much of the X-Men stuff. I can order more of the Avengers stuff. But when they say pick your store, they should have made people really travel around to get that stuff. Because I can get buttons for X-Men. I can get variant covers for X-Men. I should have only been allowed to get the Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm not dumb enough not to get the other stuff if it's offered to me. But whatever. So then we've got the new Avengers here. This has been a Dark Avengers story. It's been really, really fun. It looks like, Victoria Hand perhaps has turned on the Avengers and is feeding some information to Norman, but we don't know that that's not a part of the greater plan. Who knows? Maybe that's what Steve wanted her to do. I don't know what's going on.
That's confusing.
It is a bit confusing. There's lots of espionage.
Bendis even knows.
Bendis might not know, but I'm having a fun time reading it. Then we've got Ninja Turtles, the micro series number 3, featuring Donatello with a great cover by David Peterson.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Local guy from Ferndale, Ferndale, Michigan. The interior artwork looks pretty good here. Who is this? Valerio Schiti? Ooh, that's a tough one. You got to be careful with that one. It looks cool. All this Ninja Turtle stuff has been great. It's a revival for the Ninja Turtles. If you watch the show in the 90s, it's not that. If you read the comics in the 80s, it's not that. But it's Ninja Turtles, and it's still really cool and fun. Then we've got the 12, number 10. Marvel has brought that back, the Straczynski story that he started so long ago. He's finishing.
I think it actually started in the Golden Age, didn't it?
Damn near.
It's taken that long to finish.
Damn near. The thing's oversized and everything. No, not really. But the 12, number 10, and they've been pretty on time with the last couple of scripts.
Supposedly they're all done now.
Okay.
That's what they say. We'll see.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You know what? We had so much time in between issues, I had enough time for a long walk.
Yeah.
So then we got Tiny Titans number 49. Closing in on that last issue with Titans, which I'm totally bummed about. What do we got here? The Squishy Titans. So should be another fun romp with some of the weird monstery Titans. Love this book. Great all ages book. And I really mean kids of all ages.
Yeah.
I'm getting an old man.
Moving on to Superman Family.
Yes.
Which we know that Art in particular and also Frank are a huge Superman fan. So
Art can make a passionate plea for why it is that Superman 4 is actually a better movie than you think it is.
Yeah, he's wrong, but he can make a passionate plea.
I don't know, he almost swayed me. I'm like, I don't want to watch it again, but I believe you.
Go back and watch it after he makes his plea, and you'll be like, nope, sorry.
And that is the bulk of my stack there.
I'm going to start off with Amazing Spider-Man. This has got Spider-Man in space. I don't know why.
Everything's got to get to space eventually.
Sooner
Jason's been to space. Josie and the Pussycats have been to space.
So we've got Spider-Man in an astronaut costume. Looks like he's got his FF logo on there. Again, this has been a solid book. We wrapped up Spider Island. We recently they revealed who the mysterious member of what is that group he works for?
Oh, I don't remember now. The Science Guild. Yeah, it's Morbius, right?
The Morbius is the mysterious member of that. But this is, a very, very clever way. I really like this high-tech Spider-Man. Apparently, he's going to get yet another costume out of this, a space costume, because, they
got to sell more action
They got to sell toys. And but this has been a solid book.
Speaking of which, this week I just got the Spider-Man in FF costume for the Marvel Legends.
Nice.
Speaking of new toys,
yes.
Way to go, Marvel! Good work out there.
So they and actually the picture on there is a different Spider-Man costume. So,
I think this is the variant. So I think the other one is the green and black one.
Get your Spider-Man toys. Next up is Invincible, first issue of a bold new direction, because we now have an African-American Invincible. Although it's not a permanent thing.
He's going on that mission.
Right.
And I like the way they play it out with the costume. And I've always been eyeballing that costume.
And, at the end of the previous issue, Mark was infected with the virus that kills Viltrumites. And in this issue, they're trying to save him. They're going to save him. I'm just not going to ruin this anything.
They're going to have to.
They're going to save him.
There's also a big plot point too that we don't even know. I don't even know what it means.
We don't know what, but there's something special about Mark.
Kirkman does a great job of leaving you on there. You're like, oh, this issue's good. It's really, really good. And then he just punches you in the face with his last page. And
so really clever, great characterizations. This is consistently one of the best superhero books on the market.
Absolutely.
For me, the best part about this book is one of the things that I think has hurt a lot of superhero books in the past is even the ones that have created, really strong superhero universes, they still never felt like as interesting or complex a universe as Marvel and DC. Marvel and DC built theirs organically over decades. Then when, Malibu and a lot of these other companies pop up with these pre-existing universes, they just don't really ring true.
Right.
This feels like a fully formed, completely realized superhero universe that's really primarily in one book. And other characters pop up in other areas. There's spin-offs.
And like some other Marvel books, I don't have any interest in reading.
And yeah, Savage Dragon will show up, and other Image characters will show up. But really, there is an invincible universe going on here.
His Astounding Wolfman, Tech Jacket, Brit. Yeah. I mean, he's got all those characters in there.
And it's great stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
Next up is The Cape. This is the Joe Hill book. This is the opposite of a superhero. This is a guy with a magical cape that makes him fly, and really...
My favorite part of the magical cape is his blankie.
From being a child. But what's really interesting here is basically that's just the addition of one superpower to a fairly realistic world, and he can wreak all kind of havoc.
Absolutely.
So this really is showing the downside of superheroes. You know, the old power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This guy was probably kind of corrupt to begin with, but it's just a nice little reminder that supervillains. That you don't need to have any kind of real strong motivation.
Supervillains have mommies too.
Then you're kind of an asshole. So yeah, The Cape from Joe Hill. It's been a great book all along. I don't know. This is the last issue. I don't know if it's going to continue. I haven't read it yet. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but pick it up. It's good stuff. Next up is something that normally would have been my top pick this week. The Justice League, number 6. This also, in addition to being a leap year, is also a 5th week.
Yep.
So there's not a lot of DC books out this week.
Right.
Justice League, which has been continually slipping out of its weekly spot, is now been bumped back
a week. Well, they had to get it in that off week.
You know, so this is the only new 52 book that is shipping this week.
Yep.
But this is it. This is the big finale, I believe, the Justice League versus Darkseid. The Justice League versus Darkseid.
Right.
Don't need to say any more. Jim Lee draws a hell of a Darkseid. Last issue, Batman wound up in Apocalypse, I think.
Yeah.
I was a little confused by some of that.
Kind of weird.
But this is, Wonder Woman stabbing Darkseid in the eye. Okay, this is a big fight. And some more fighting, and you know, when you got Superman and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Darkseid, you want some.
You're a nice, good fight.
So pick it up for lots of good fighting. Next up, FF number 15. This book has been fantastic. No pun intended. But yeah, the Galactus.
The art's better this time around.
Oh yeah, good.
It's not that same guy, Belillo or whatever. It looks better.
Oh yeah, and it looks like this is the story. This is tying into Fantastic Four. This looks like the other side of some of the stuff that's going on. You almost
have to read both books.
Yeah. I mean at least I think you can understand FF without this, or understand Fantastic Four without this, but I think you need to read Fantastic Four to understand what's going on here. But this is the stuff that's going on with the Celestials. It looks like it's ending in a very similar manner. They're kind of parallel. But again,
they're running at the same time. Yeah. Hickman's just very good about being able to grab those moments and separate them.
It's almost as if they could have actually kept this one book and just done it like a bi-weekly thing like they do with many other books.
Right.
But instead of doing that, they're two separate books because this is focusing on the kids.
Yep.
And it's been good stuff.
And Nathaniel.
And Nathaniel. The kids and the dad, the granddad. So yeah, good stuff. If you've been following Hickman, this far, you're going to pick this up too, as you should. Actually, it looks like is that members of Power Pack on the front?
Yes, it is.
So I know all those people out there who love Power Pack from their youth. They're in here too. Next up is Moon Knight. This is picked up. I know it's being canceled with issue 12.
Isn't it wrapping up?
Last issue we had a big throwdown with Moon Knight, who has no superpowers, against Count Nefaria, who has a whole bunch of them. But Moon Knight kind of held his own. And we had some big dramatic moments. We had Moon Knight and the voices in his head all kind of arguing it out. And Wolverine, the hallucination Wolverine killed the hallucination Cap and the hallucination Spider-Man. And now Moon Knight's just going to try and go crazy on a man who's got the powers of Superman. This really should not end well for Moon Knight. But I haven't read the end, so we will see. So that's my stack.
All right, which I guess then brings me to the top of my stack, which is The Walking Dead number 94, A Larger World Part 2. It's there are some zombies, a little bit of zombie action. not a whole lot. It's not all zombie driven this time. It's a lot of that story stuff. And they had taken a prisoner, essentially, a character that said he was from another town, and he comes in, and Rick's skeptical. Rick doesn't know what to do, and they're drawing some pretty interesting conclusions about the kind of man that Rick has become versus the type of man that maybe he used to be, versus the type of man that maybe he should be or wants to be. There's some real nice Carl moments in this issue, and they get to the new town. So when next issue, we'll have to see what happens in that new town, but and whether or not these people can be trusted. But it was good stuff. The Walking Dead has been consistent the whole way through. Fantastic stuff. Walking Dead 94.
Excellent. My top pick is Unwritten 34.5. For several months, I'm not caught up on this. I haven't read it. That was like 7 issues deep because they've been shipping bi-weekly. I finally got caught up, and this is a fantastic book. It's a great storyline. It really does look like it's moving towards the end. There have been a lot of revelations. There are more to come. Tim is basically heading for really who and what is behind all of this and the secret of his creation. And these 0.5 issues have actually been a little bit different. They're doing this a little different than the way they've been doing the Marvel stuff. The 0.5 issues are all one-shots about somebody that's been in the storyline. So the guy who's got the funky facial hair, there's an issue about him. There's an issue about the woman who does the puppets, origin issues, and some of them are not even necessarily specifically about characters, but about events from the past. So this is also going to be focusing on someone or something outside of where the story is. Then the next issue, the one with the even number, that actually is progressing the story forward. But after getting caught up on this book, I'm just excited to read these issues and get the end of this story. It's been just a great ride all along. And, when I was trying to figure out, like I said, I almost picked Justice League because that's probably the big gun.
Sure.
Darkseid versus Justice League. But when I really thought about which book am I most excited to read, it's Unwritten. Just because it's had this slow build for, almost 3 years now? Yeah. It's coming towards a pretty big conclusion. It's a smart book. It's smarter than I am. I know there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing. But it's fantastic stuff. I really cannot urge people to go back and read this enough. And I think this is one of those books that in 10 years people are still going to be picking up trade paperbacks and talking about Unwritten. It's a great self-contained thing. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, if you're a fan of literature, give it a shot. I mean, don't start with this issue.
Right. Like movies like Inkheart and things like that, which was based on a book.
Blurring the lines.
It's very similar to all that. If you take Inkheart and Harry Potter and then basically just, all the literary classics, everything that's in the public domain, and dump them in a pot and stir it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's got
this. You're going to get something
great characters from literature.
I love that Frankenstein is his spirit guide.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And, Moby Dick has been in here. Yes. And they just lots of great stuff. I mean, and it's not like a boring English class.
No, it's not.
This is a great, very well written and very well drawn. Peter actually, I think these point issues might not be the regular team. Some of them have had other people. But it's just been a consistent book with the same creative team. This is the book that Vertigo does best. It's a long-form story. It's tight. It's self-contained. It's one creative team the whole way through. This is worthy of going on the shelf with books like Preacher and Invisibles and Sandman. So check it out.
Right on. Lots of a light week, a good week. Yeah, lots of really good stuff this week. So with that is your Week in Geek.